Welcome to MixoType, where we help you to find yourself and unlock your potential through your aspirational identity. Today, we're going to discuss 4 important lessons behind personal growth. Number 1, personal growth takes mastery, and mastery takes 10 years to achieve. Now, Robert Greene talks about this in his book, Mastery. What he says is that statistically across the board, what you'll find is that mastery takes an entire decade, takes years, and on the off chance that it takes any less time, it takes 9 years. The fact is that mastery is something that you have to dedicate yourself to. And as you start this journey of personal growth, don't beat yourself over the head if things don't happen as quickly as you'd like them to. It's going to be a long and beautiful journey filled with rich experiences and lessons. And those lessons themselves create an incredible life. So just don't beat yourself up if it takes too long. 10 years is pretty much the average here. So if you get started today, it'll probably be 2032 by the time you've achieved some sort of mastery. And this leads me to number 2. Success is a lonely road. And so as you pursue this journey of self-discovery and mastery, what you'll find is that before you embark on this journey, you might have a lot of friends. Hey, you might be in a relationship. You might have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You might just have a nice and normal life that's pretty routine. What you'll find is that the second you decide to go towards the road of personal growth and mastery, it tends to be so lonely because there's so much you need to learn along the way. And so that requires tremendous sacrifice. You're going to be pulling up like all-nighters sometimes. You're going to be waking up early. You're going to be putting in work before work begins. You're just not going to have time for most people. You're going to be on your own. You're going to be isolated. At this point, people might not even want to date you because they can't relate with you. You don't have time for them. And so as you embark on this journey, yes, it's going to be very lonely, but at the same time, at the end, it'll all be worth it because the sacrifices that you make early on will help you sustain a lifestyle that most people can never imagine even having. You're going to be in that top 1%. You're going to be living the life of your dreams because you made the sacrifices early on. And remember, it might be 10 years worth of sacrifices, but it'll be so worth it in the end. So just stick to the journey and just don't think it's going to be all lonely. It's not all doom and gloom. No, you're going to meet some incredible people along the way. And these people are going to be aligned with your path. You're going to find mentors and friends, and you might not find the relationship that you want along the way in terms of a romantic partner, but just know that the reason why I say that is that oftentimes, especially in today's dating marketplace, you're pretty much, there's just so many options out there that oftentimes you'll find that someone isn't going to be there to build with you along the way, and that's okay. You know what? You need that time to yourself, for yourself, to really discover who you are. Does that mean you should not date? No. Does that mean you shouldn't have friends? No. Does that mean you shouldn't party? No. But what it means is that to the level that most people go and do these things, they're not going to be that important in your life. You're not going to have as much time for those things. You might party maybe once or twice a year, and that might be a birthday party. Most of the time, you're going to be in the trenches. You're going to be alone. You're going to be facing your shadow. You're going to be working. You're going to be hustling. When everyone else is asleep, you're going to be up working. And that's what it takes to succeed on this journey. Now that brings you to step number 3, important lesson number 3. You have to learn to trust your gut. And the reason why I say that is that this journey, as lonely as it can be and as sacrificial as it can be, and as inspiring, all the dots are not going to connect as you work through them. You're going to find that there's going to be things that come into your life just unexpectedly. You're going to have hunches and intuition. You're going to have these flashes of insight that seem to come out of nowhere. Now, the more you journal about this, the easier it is to start to figure out these patterns along the way. But having said that, all the information will not make sense all the time. It's going to take you a while to compile all the data. And honestly, you might not even understand how all the dots connect until you've actually made it to the finish line. You're not going to be able to know how the dots connect until you look backwards on your journey. Steve Jobs talks about this in his commencement speech at Stanford University. He said that as he pursued his path, as he went about his journey to figure out what he wanted to do in life, he just had to trust that even though nothing made sense, that someday the dots would connect. And so that's how your journey is going to unfold. It's beautiful and it's chaotic and it doesn't always make sense. You could be on this road towards mastery for 10 years. You could make all the sacrifices in the world, but your path isn't as clearly laid out as you'd like for it to be laid out. And that's why it takes so long. Those dots that need to connect, the journals that you need to write, and all these things, they just, what you're really doing along the way is you're creating and weaving your narrative together. So give yourself the time to really just operate within that gut space and give yourself the time to give your unconscious mind the expression that it needs. And this leads me to point number 4, which is you need to surrender to the flow of life. So let me explain. As you go about this process and things seem to enter your life unexpectedly, you must understand that a lot of these things, they're just drawn to your narrative. The more you write your narrative out on paper in your journal, the more clear certain events will become. But having said that, sometimes things might catch you off guard. Your girlfriend might break up with you. Your boyfriend might break up with you. Someone that you thought you trusted, you can no longer trust. You might get fired from work. All these things, they start to shift in your life, and your life itself starts to transform in unpredictable ways. And good things will happen as well, like you might get a raise or a promotion, but no matter what, be unfazed and be grounded in the present moment. Be grounded in your narrative and know that as you write your narrative, as you become more clear about it, life will transform through you and it will happen for you. All things in your life. And this is a very powerful belief to have, because as you go about your journey, things are not going to make sense all the time. But if you trust that everything's working in your favor, then the more you write your narrative out, the more life will tend to shift. But it'll shift in such a way that there's synchronicity along the way, that there's these flashes of insight and connection. And as you get to the end of your journey, you'll look back and see how everything was meant to happen for a reason, to help you build out the life that you're now living. Now, if you would like to shortcut the process through self-discovery and unlocking your potential, then I want to invite you to head over to mixo.xyz, where you can access Mixo, the identity discovery system, for free. And if you like this content, then hit like, comment, share, and please subscribe to this channel. All right, thank you so much and take care. Talk to you soon.